up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thought I'd do a little something different tonight. Yeah. Appreciate y'all tuning in. My number one fan, I'm sure April was watching. What's up, Sonia? How you doing? How y'all doing? We're gonna get a little digging into some stuff tonight, this evening. Welcome to my little live broadcast here on the Kicking It with K-Rack YouTube channel. I appreciate y'all watching and everything. I'm gonna get into some stories I want to share with y'all about some crazy shit that's going on in the country, up in New York and Washington D.C. and here locally in the Memphis area. So let y'all know what's going on. So let's go on dig on into this. We're gonna talk about how Joe Biden, which I have predicted in the past, that Joe Biden's going to drop out. I've already predicted this. I tried to do a little break time live this morning, but apparently I had bad reception. But I'm gonna dig right back into this. But I'm gonna touch on a few stories, and I'm gonna leave all the links to these stories in the description. As soon as I get done doing this video, I'll slap them in there so you can check these stories out yourself. Not just believe what I'm trying to tell you here. You can read for it for yourself. But like I said, I'm just gonna say probably 8 months ago, I was working on my truck and I did a live video. I was trying to work on my editing and everything, and I did one on working on my truck and the Joe Biden files, and I predicted that Joe Biden was not even going to survive the 2024 election process because the Democrats are going to force him out, or he's going to have health issues or something of that nature, which if you can see that his rating approval is just in the gutter throughout the country. I mean, I don't know anybody, even black people. I met a black dude at the store this evening, and he was talking about how high a soda was. It was almost $3 for a 20-ounce Coke. And he was like, damn, and I'm like, yeah, that's that old Joe Flation. And he was like, yeah, F that son of a gun, F him, I can't stand that son of a gun. We was better off with Trump, and I was just surprised, but I mean, Trump, Biden's lost all the support in the whole country with the voters of America. And I'm sure a lot of political establishment Democrats up there are trying to get him out, and I think he's going to be forced out, or he's going to claim he's got some kind of medical condition that he has to drop out, and they're going to nominate Gavin Newsom. But let's jump into this real quick. From the New York Post, the headline says Joe Biden will drop out of the 2024 presidential race. Top J.P. Morgan strategist predicts. Now these are stock and trade people that predict how markets are going to change and everything. And we'll read a little bit about it. President Biden will not run for re-election during a tumultuous year that will see parts of the country suffer rolling blackouts, the release of an inhaled COVID vaccine, and a boycott over driverless cars. A top J.P. Morgan Chase strategist predicted. Michael Chambliss, who heads the Market and Investment Strategy Unit in the Wall Street Bank's Assessment Management Division, made the shocking forecast in his list of 10 surprises for 2024 over the weekend. Tops among the budding Nostradamus prophecies was that 81-year-old Biden will drop out of the race sometime between Super Tuesday and the November election. Mark that in your calendars, folks. That's right in the middle of primary. Citing health concerns is what this person predicts, Mr. Michael Campbellist. Super Tuesday refers to the March 5th presidential primaries and caucuses that will be held in more than a dozen states, including California, Texas, Massachusetts, Vermont, and North Carolina. The winner of the Super Tuesday contest is considered the heavy favorite to eventually capture the party's nomination for president. So if he stays in until the Super Tuesday, he'll probably be leading the Democratic ticket for the presidential nomination, but that's when he's going to drop out, and then that's when the establishment Democrats are going to nominate their own candidate. They're going to eliminate the whole process of democracy, as they love to call it, and they're going to pick Gavin Newsom and put him in his spot. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. That's exactly what's going to happen. So anyway, we'll read right here. Biographer says it won't be total shock if Biden drops out of the 2024 race. This is in the Guardian, a very liberal news outlet here, and that's the headline it has there, and it says Franklin Foer, author of biography of president, makes comments amid widespread questions about Biden's age and competence. The author of the new biography of Joe Biden has said it would not be a total shock if the president cancels his re-election bid by the end of the year. Yeah, right at the end of the year. That way they can pick somebody and put him in. Franklin Foer, whose book, The Last Politician Inside Joe Biden's White House and the Struggle for America's Future, is published this week, told NBC's Meet the Press on Sunday that it doesn't take Bob Woodward to understand that Joe Biden is old, end quotes, referring to Watergate reporter who, like Biden, is 80 years old. I'm not a generologist, and I can't predict how the next couple years will age Joe Biden, Foer added. Asked if Joe Biden could drop out of his re-election bid, Foer said, and I quote, "It would be a surprise to me, but it would not be a total surprise to me." The comments came a day ahead of the president's Labor Day visit to Philadelphia, where Biden spoke about the importance of trade unions and addressed the potential auto workers' strike. "I'm not worried about a strike. I don't think it's going to happen," Biden said. "You don't know what's going to happen, you dipshit. You don't even know where you are half the time, you ass muncher." The president also addresses the age issue, remarking the only thing that comes with age is a little bit of wisdom. Well, you're an absolute dumbass. I hate to tell you. That little wisdom went out your ear, your nose, your mouth, your butt, your armpits, your fingertips long ago. Sure did. You're a complete idiot, Joe Biden. So let's jump on one more. Here's a list of Democrats who want Biden to drop out of the race. Come on, load. This page is not wanting to load now. But here's a list, if it will show it. All right, here's the list. As President Joe Biden gears up for the 2024 election, a new poll shows that he is losing to Donald Trump in key swing states. No shit. Promoting some Democrats to say he should drop out of the race. The New York Times and Siena College poll released on Sunday showed Trump leading Biden in 5 out of 6 battleground states: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. So, the only battleground state in which Biden has the lead is Wisconsin by 2 percentage points, according to the survey. The recent poll numbers follows several Democrats who want Biden to drop out of the race, citing issues such as age. Age has been a central point of discussion in the run-up to the election, with criticizing Biden for his history of verbal gaffes. I know that's a lot of them, too. Basically, every time he damn talks. The others point to slips made by former Republican president. David Axelrod, a political strategist now, check this out. David Axelrod, who's a Democrat, who worked on Barack Obama's 2008 and 2012 campaign and served as a senior advisor in his administration, responded to the polling on X, formerly Twitter, and said it would spark legitimate concerns. Now, this is a presidential campaign advisor that's been working for the Democrats for several years, and he is saying it is a legitimate concern. Axelrod, leaders of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris outperforms Joe Biden in 3 key swing states if she was running for president. Ain't that something else? I'm trying to see where the other names are here. Let's see. Miami Beach former Democratic Mayor Phil Levin said he is not supporting Biden. A Democratic rep, Dean Phillips of Minnesota, announced he was leaving his position in the House Democratic leadership over his party support of 2024 re-election bid. Ain't that something? Leaving his whole party. It's leadership. I tell you something. Something is up, buddy. Representative Pramila Jayapal said Biden is in great trouble. Now, this is a Democrat saying this, not a Republican. And note the recent poll numbers, although she did not explicitly state that Biden should leave the race, she pointed to the current Israel-Hamas conflict as a major issue that is impacting voters. Yeah, it sure is. Because once you try to appease to the left, they don't want no little inch. They want a whole damn city. You can't. You give the left any little thing, they're gonna take everything. Absolutely are freaking communists. That's all they are, is a bunch of communists. All these people talking about Hamas and Ukraine and supporting war, all of a sudden, you know, that's the leftist communists you got to watch out for, because they're idiots. They're absolutely idiots. But we're going to change gears here. We're going to talk about these secret tunnels, Jewish secret tunnels in the big city, the Big Apple up there. Thanks, Strawberry. Up there in New York City. And this shit is crazy, y'all. I'm talking about crazy. Damn it, it's not going to let me damn. Let's see here. I might have to find another article. There we go, AP. This is from AP News. Check this out, folks. Like I said, I'll leave all the links to these stories in my description as soon as I get done doing this video. But I appreciate y'all watching. Thank y'all very much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment. That'd be great. I'd appreciate it. All of my viewers, comments, and everything helps me out. I'm almost at 100,000 views on my channel, and the more people that view it, the quicker I'll get there. And I sure do appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. But here we go. From the AP News, a secret tunnel in a New York City synagogue leads to a brawl between police and worshipers. And I mean, it's got videos showing the brawl. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they've done tore the walls down on the inside of this synagogue, and they're throwing pews and chairs and everything at these cops. I mean, it was buck-ass wild. And like I said, I'll leave the link to these stories and videos in the description. But here we go. A historic Brooklyn synagogue that serves as the center of an influential Hasidic Jewish movement was trashed this week during an unusual community dispute that began with the discovery of a secret underground tunnel and ended in a brawl between worshipers and the police. Sure did. Sure did. The conflict erupted in the global headquarters of the Shabbat Lubavitch, I don't know how you say these Jewish terms, Lubavitch movement in Crown Heights, a deeply revered Jewish site that each year receives thousands of visitors, including international students and religious leaders. Its Gothic rival facade, I should say, immediately recognizable to adherents to the Shabbat movement, has inspired dozens of replicas across the world. But on Tuesday, the synagogue remained closed off by police barricades as New York City built safety agents inspecting whether a tunnel dug out without officials' permission may have caused structural damage to the famed property. Officials and locals said young men in the community recently built the passages to the sanctuary in secret when the group's leader tried to seal it off Monday. They staged a protest that turned violent as police moved in to make arrests. The exact purpose of and provenance of the tunnel that incited the altercation remains to the subject of debate. The passageway is believed to have started in the basement and of an empty apartment building behind the headquarters, snaked under a series of offices and lecture halls before eventually connecting to the synagogue, according to the Moti Seligislan, a spokesman for Chabad. That's crazy. To those who support the tunnel, meanwhile, said that they were carrying out an expansion plan long envisioned by the former head of the Shabab movement, Rebbe Machiam Madel Shanirson. Shanirson. Ooh, that's rough. Shanirson led the Chabad Lavich for more than 4 decades before his death in 1994, reinvigorating the Hasidic religious community that had been devastated by the Holocaust. So these are basically religious zealots that are, I mean, it's a church though, I mean, I guess, but what was the purpose of the tunnels? That's the question. Were they doing bad things in the tunnels, illegal things in the tunnels, or were they, could it be tunnels left over from when the city shut all the churches and synagogues down during the COVID lockdowns, and they, secretly made passageways to worship their God or whatever? I mean, it's the question's up in the air, but it's very damn interesting. I mean, they say that they had an intricate network of tunnels that went into that synagogue, and even had an exit route out in the street, which has videos. Yeah, Strawberry, that's that flag from Pittsburgh, by the way. But they had exits on the sidewalks out in the public where like street grades were over the opening, and they had like newspaper dispensers, like for where people like rent apartments out, or newspaper machines or whatever, and they had that slid over there, and then they was sliding it out and crawling out that hole. And I've seen video of it, and it was like, oh my God, this is like a movie. I mean, damn, they're like gophers. Well, they gonna get in that church one way or the other, whether the damn popo says they can or not, apparently. But do you know what they was doing, though? Nobody knows. Everything's speculative right now, and I'm speculating nothing. I'm just like reading what's going on and just saying, that's interesting. So, but damn, digging tunnels under the city of New York. That's crazy. All right, we're going to downshift to some local shit here, but I want to just point this out. This is what I'm going to mainly focus on here for the next 10 minutes or so. All right. So, I'm so proud of the city of Memphis and how far they have came since they desecrated a great historical man's grave and his wife's grave, and desecrated it by the removal of it illegally back in 2017. Okay, now, and I'm gonna get into this in a second, but here in a minute, but but I remember very vividly, you had several of these protesters, leaders of this movement that they claim was going on in Memphis called Take 'em Down 901, which it really wasn't nothing but a handful of leftist communists that stirring up a bunch of trouble and stomping feet and blowing snot bubbles about one little area in the city of Memphis that had a statue put up to Nathan Bedford Forrest, which was on top of his and his wife's grave. Okay, but I'll get back into that. But I want to congratulate the city of Memphis for breaking a record last year, and they should be so proud of themselves. They should be so proud of themselves. They broke the homicide record, they broke the carjacking record, and they broke the smash and grab record in the city of Memphis this past year. Yeah, they sure did. So let's get into this. This is from American Renaissance. Memphis breaks homicide record again. Again. They broke it the year before, too. Yep, sure has. Multiple shootings in a violent stretch of days has pushed Memphis to yet another record number of homicides in 2023, with more than a month left in the year. Yeah, it went buck-ass crazy in Memphis in the month of December. I mean, I think there was 30 or 40 people shot and murdered just in the month of December. I'm not sure of that, but I'll tell you. But it says the city's homicides total is 352 for the year as of November the 20th. That's November the 20th. Now, from what I understand, it was almost 400 by the time the year rolled around into the new year. Almost 400 murders in the city of Memphis alone, and by the end of this year. But this is Officer Chris Williams with the Memphis Police Department said Monday that the number surpassed the record of 346 homicides set in 2021. All right. Now, this is in November when they broke that record. November the 20th, when they broke the previous record of 2021 of 346 homicides. That year surpassed the previous records, which had been set a year earlier. Huh. Let's see. When did they take the statues down? I think it was 2017. Yeah, I think it was. So, let's see. From a comparison, Los Angeles, a city of 3.85 million people, 3.85 million people reported 272 homicides at the end of October. Though Memphis homicides cooled slightly in 2022, slightly, I think it barely fell under the record the year before. They jumped back up again this year. No shit, they did. Memphis is getting horrible. And I warn anybody out there that watches this video, if you ever travel through Memphis, duck. Because, I mean, when the sun goes down, you better get the fuck out of Memphis. And I am not bullshitting you. I am not bullshit. I don't go to Memphis at night. If I'm going out to do anything, it ain't going to be in Memphis. I can tell you that. It's damn straight. I am not going to Memphis. Because anywhere in Memphis that becomes popular and people start gathering there and having a good time, within a year to 2 years, it just turns to shit in the city of Memphis. That's what's wrong with the city of Memphis. You can't have nothing nice in the city of Memphis because it gets just destroyed by a bunch of uncouth, stupid people that like to shoot up the place because they don't get their way or some shit like that, or get kicked out of a bar or some shit like that. That's Memphis for you. Okay? Though Memphis homicides cold slot, I already read that. 298 of the city's homicides are considered murders by the Memphis Police Department. New York City, with a population of 8.5 million, reported 333 murders as of November the 12th. I mean, you look, you know how many people are in Memphis? 600,000, if that. 600,000, 650 maybe. 650,000 people live in Memphis. It's not even 1 million people live in Memphis. Nashville's probably almost got 1 million people, if not more. But Memphis, nope. Not as far as citizens of the city of Memphis. Nope, sure don't. 650,000 people. And got almost 400 murders this past year. According to the Memphis Crime Commission, violent crime in the country is up 5% overall. Crime is up 9.6% since last year, says this article here. And this article was put out November the 22nd, 2023. Now, I want to reflect on something here that I brought up previously about the removal of Memphis's and Green Space's illegal removal of Nathan Bedford's statue and his graves, and desecrated it, broke the law, and got away with it. But this is an article from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette from June 20th, 2021. I was a part of this removal on the very first day, and the fat heifer huffing and puffing, can't tie her own shoes ass Tammy Sawyer came up there and started talking shit to us to throw her flags on the ground, so I went and ruined her day for her. I popped her little bubble. Yeah, sure did. It was all over the news, but we're not going to get into that. That's another day. All right, well, this is from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Memphis removed traces of Confederate general. All right, so I'm going to get just briefly into a few things that it says in here. Then I'm going to point out a statement made by one of the Arco-communist son of a bitches that pushed to get this and made it happen of the desecration of Nathan Bedford's grave. All right. Memphis, Confederate General Nathan Bedford's polarizing presence has hung over Memphis since he moved here in 1852. His legacy cemented by a giant statue that loomed over all who passed his gravesite in a popular park. Defenders considered him a hero of the Civil War exploits. Detractors called him a violent racist and noted he was early leadership role of the Ku Klux Klan. That's a whole nother story. I've read 5 biographies on Nathan Bedford, and that's a false truth, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. Now, the former slave trader's remains are set to be moved to a new Confederate museum in Columbia, Tennessee. Another milestone in an effort to remove statues, monuments, and now the remains of a Confederate leader from public spaces. As workers prepared to dig up his grave earlier this month, a white man, this is where I come in, a white man waved a rebel flag saying Dixie and launched an expletive-laced tirade at fat-ass Shelby County Commissioner Can't Tie Her Own Shoes Tammy Sawyer, who is black. Plucked Confederate flags off a chain link fence surrounding the site as George K-Rack paced behind her on a concrete platform. When he cursed her again, Sawyer replied, "It's not your property." I don't ever recall her ever saying that shit. And turned towards reporters and gathered for the June 1st news conference, which I destroyed, which I rained on her little sweet-ass little parade. Yeah, thought she was going to get up there and gloat in front of them news cameras. No, you wasn't going to do it that day, you fat bitch. So I'm going to get down in this article here, and I'm going to read a quote here from Mr. Van Turner, the supposed president of this illegitimate company called Greenspace that just all of a sudden got formed out of nowhere, and the parks were sold to them, and that's how they removed illegally the statue and the graves. But anyway, it says right here, and I quote Mr. Van Turner. He said here, "I hope that it gives the life to the city of Memphis," Turner said. And I quote, let the city know that we don't have to allow our past to drag us down. Funny thing on the first end of that quote is, I hope that it gives life to the city of Memphis. Well, it looked like it gave it a bunch of fucking death and murder and carjackings and rapes and all kind of crazy shit. Because ever since that statue came down, Memphis has been breaking one record after another. And the bad thing is the piece of shit new prosecutor in the Shelby County is a straight commie piece of shit. And on top of that, the city of Memphis just elected a left-leaning, ass-wiping, boot-licking commie, card-toting commie their damn selves. And it's going to get worse. I bet in the next 4 to 5 years, you're going to see Memphis break 500 murders in a year. I guarantee you. You sure will. Because the Shelby County prosecutor is letting murderers out on their own recognizance in the city of Memphis right now. And I shit you not. I shit you not. And what's his name? Matt Casey. No, not Matt Casey. I'm sorry. Memphis. Let's see here. Who's the new Shelby County District Attorney? I know his name. I just can't think of it. I know it was Amy Wyrick before he took over. Let's see. But anyway, he's a left-leaning commie. He's Stephen Finney. That's his name, Stephen Finney. He's been letting murderers out in the city of Memphis on their own recognizance. People that has actually murdered people, which that was uncalled for just a few years ago. I mean, they would have a couple $1 million bail and everything like that on murder. But now they're letting them just go. And if they break into a store or hold a convenience store up at gunpoint, they just let them walk right out. get their charges, tell them what time of day to show up for court if they show up, and just let them walk out. So there you go, City of Memphis. I greatly appreciate y'all coming together. And I quote Mr. Van Turner, who was one of the head honchos that removed the Confederate monuments and graves of Nathan Bedford Forrest, and I quote, "I hope that it gives life to the city of Memphis." Well, it gave it death, and it's going to get a whole lot fucking worse. And I hate to say it because Memphis is a beautiful city. It used to be one of the most highly revered cities to live in the 50s and 60s. Now it's one of the most shittiest, assholeless, back-assward damn cities there is in the country. Sure is. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, y'all two famous folks out there. Too bad my big famous fan April didn't make it in here this evening. I'm sure she'll watch it later because she watches everything I do. And her little sidekick, her little Robin, her Batman, that they up there in the Sonic Batcave. But yeah, I'm sure y'all watch it. So y'all have a good night. It was nice seeing you the other day, April. You know, turkey neck. But anyway, appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my page. I would greatly appreciate it. Pass it on around. It's time I'm gonna get back to start doing politics and social things like I used to do all the time. Stop worrying about personal matters. I gotta quit that shit. So, but yeah, get out there and enjoy life and get ready because 2024 is fixing to be a shitstorm, and it's gonna be a big one. So sit back, get your popcorn, and get ready for the ride. But appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good night, and God bless Dixie.